You're listening to Priceless Beauties podcast. Hey beautiful, Pamela Price here, makeup and spray tan artist, educator and owner of Priceless Beauty Studio, an international award-winning beauty business. But more importantly, I will be your host and cheerleader on this journey of self-love, self-awareness, and growth. Life didn't come with an instruction manual, and entrepreneurship can be a lonely and scary road at times. I am personally inviting you to join me on this brave adventure together while I chat with women just like you who open up and share their secrets about their business, their inspiration, and their stories. When we empower one another, great things happen. All right, babe, thanks so much for pressing play. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Priceless Beauties podcast. I have a special guest on here today. If you're in the spray tanning world, you probably already know who she is. Melinda. She is the founder of the Sunless Beauty Expo, amongst many other things, a serial entrepreneur. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. I'm excited to be here. And thank you for agreeing to be an educator for us at this event, because that you have so much to share and I have so much more to learn. So I'm really excited.
Thank you. I'm also super excited. I just got out of hosting an event yesterday for my community. And so I'm on like an event high right now. So I'm just rolling right out of that one into this. So I'm really excited to be a part of this. Can you share a little bit for maybe those who don't know who you are or don't know what the Sunless Beauty Expo is? Can you share a little bit about yourself, your background, and maybe why this whole event has evolved? Like, why did you start it? Why are you doing this? Because I know it's a lot of work. So talk to me about why you're doing this.
So first off, my background is I'm a licensed cosmetologist, esthetician, and instructor. And I have been in the beauty industry for 35 years. It'll be 36. Maybe it is 36. Oh, crap, I'm old. One of the things I can tell you is that spray tanning has actually been around since the 1920s. I bet people didn't know that. And it has evolved over the years. It was the claim to fame for copper tone. And I think all the sunless beauty industry people understand that DHA and spray tanning has been around a long time, but they don't really understand the history of it. And I am a redhead. I don't tan people, I stroke. So I go to the beach with a paramedic, hopefully a good looking one, and a burn trauma unit following me behind. And so when spray tanning really started to take off in the early 2000s, and really it started out, remember Fake Bake? Used to pile it on and then buff it off. You know, I still love Fake Bake. And if you're listening, Fake Bake, come see us. Spray tanning, I got turned on to it by Terry Hunter from Bronze, the Art of Tanning in Las Vegas. And he was spray tanning at pageants. And he invited me to do a pageant with him. And it took off. And at that time, I owned a beauty college. And I was like, this is going to be big in the beauty industry. And so I took it back to my beauty school, my aesthetic school. I co-owned Academy of Aesthetic Arts for 14 years in the Shawnee, Kansas area with a business partner. And we just loved it. And because a lot of clients want safe sun, they want to look great. They don't want to wear stockings anymore. I mean, stockings were going out, but women wanted tan legs. So we used to do a little spray tan thing called, shiny stockings, where we just tan the legs. So people wouldn't have to wear stockings with their skirts. And so I just got so hooked on spray tanning. And I bet a lot of people don't know that sunless tanning is the 4th fastest growing industry and the 3rd most requested beauty services in salons and spas. And guess who's not the fastest to get on board with it has been the salons and spas, because it's a messy business and they don't understand how to mitigate the mess. They don't understand what's involved with it. But it is also a branch of the beauty industry that is not regulated very well. And part of the reason for starting the Sunless Beauty Expo is there's a lot of great beauty, a lot of the distributors, Heartland, Four Seasons, the Sunless store, a lot of suppliers and distributors have been out there going to beauty shows and things. But one of the things that has been really prevalent in it is that a lot of them have been brand driven. And what we wanted to do is create an event that would bring in our industry's best to help educate our industry's ingenues and those that want motivation, inspiration. We also included the spray tan games. It's the first ever competition. And that's going to be fun because we're going to spray tan live. We're going to provide you the models, the guns, and the solutions. We've got 5 categories, and one of the categories is self-tan. So when you come and you get your ticket, you can be in the games and just let us know which ones you want to be in. We're going to compete live. We're going to judge on the next day after they've rinsed. We're going to have a runway, a catwalk show, and then everybody there gets to vote for the best in show, and the best in show is going to win a grand prize worth over $5,000. It includes a brand new Spray-Gon Triton and equipment and sunless solutions and things. So this is going to be fun because it's the first ever event that's brand neutral, that's education, competition, recognition, and celebration. And that's what we wanted to focus on, was bring people to the sunless beauty industry who we want to do business with. So it's not just another sunless solution company having an educational event. There's equipment people there. There's all kinds of different things that you can do in your business and practice that you might not know about that are going to be there too, that can expand your service menu, can make you more profitable. And the bottom line is that we love what we do, but if you can't make a living at it, you can't support yourself, a family, grow your future and your retirement, what's the point in doing it? What's the point in making people pretty just because it makes you feel good or them feel good? That's not a good enough reason.
It's not enough. Yeah. So true. Absolutely. So many exciting things in there.
There is. And I'm super stoked about it because, you were just mentioning to me that somebody mentioned to you that this is too expensive, right? We're going to give you guys a little discount here after visiting with you, Pamela. I'm going to give them a code to give so that we can help reduce that cost. But the thing you want to do is you want to look at what's the value of what you're spending your money on. There's a lot of events out there that start at $500 and they include the event and that's it. But when you come here, not only does it include the event, classes, getting to go around and meet business to business people, networking, keynote speeches from really industry giants, but it also includes, the opportunity to win things, to participate in fun, but it also includes some meals. Like you're going to get your awards dinner. That gala is going to be off the charts. DJ, the whole bit. It's in Vegas. It's right at the head of Fremont Street, which the reason we chose that is like Fremont Street's covered. And in the winter they heat it and in the summer they cool it. So we're not going to really be in 110-degree weather. We're going to be in a cooled street with super fun things. Like we can zip line, girls. We can just go have the best time ever. I can't wait to get on that freaking Fremont Street. The pools are going to be open. It's family friendly where we're having our event, and the hotel is totally affordable. So book now. And then the other thing is that you get your brunch and you get some mimosas, and you get real value for that. If you ended up or you did purchase full price, you get real value for that dollar. It includes meals. I haven't been to an event that included meals in 10 years. How about you?
I know. And we need to eat.
I don't want to stop.
The end of the day.
I don't want to stop and leave the event center. I'm telling you, I speak at a lot of beauty events. And so I'll be in Vegas in June. I'll be in Vegas in July. And then I'll be in Face and Body in September, and then I'll be in West Palm at the International Aesthetics and Cosmetics Spa. I travel around to all of these shows, and those girls pay big bucks to go to tickets and classes, and they don't include meals. Then you got to go out into the convention center, and a cup of coffee is $9 to $12. A hot dog is $8. Like I could eat a hot dog. So we really went all out for this. You're going to get there's also going to be a professional photographer there for headshots. There's going to be a fun photo booth. There's going to be a really kick butt DJ. There's some great entertainment that's going to be there. So it's going to be super fun. We get to dress up pretty. Yay. Bring your spouses, ladies. Bring your significant other and make him gussy up and give him a tan before he comes. I'm bringing mine. Yeah, I'm bringing mine. So it's going to be fun.
I wanted to just touch on that, like the price, like the investment cost, right? So I feel like it's important to just like reframe that upfront cost, because the experience that you're going to get with an in-person event is, you just never know what's going to come from it. This conversation, this collaboration, this whole experience of you and I knowing each other all started from an in-person spray tanning event. And so many things have evolved. Like I sat back to think about some of, not all, because it'd be impossible to think of every single door that's opened as a result of me attending different events. But to this day, things are still evolving and growing, and opportunities are happening for me, for my business, for my personal growth, because I said yes. And I always joke that my grandma had to pay for my first event because I didn't have the money. So I figured out a way, and it has paid me back, like that return on investment, like 100 times. So for anybody who's on the fence about thinking, oh, like, I don't know if I can take the time off, like, am I going to be able to get a babysitter? Like, I can't afford to go. Trust me, if you really want to go, you're going to figure out a way to make it happen. And if you go with an open heart and open mind, I guarantee you're going to get so much. Some of my absolute best friends that I only get to see at spray tanning or beauty conferences, I see every year and have added so much value to my life. And just having that community and that support, not to mention, brand training, solution training, techniques, and just inspiration and like community, right? Because as entrepreneurs, it is so challenging sometimes to even just get up and try again.
Yeah.
Some days.
And it doesn't matter how long you've been in the business, because I go fetal all the time. I sort of got into catatonic with my thumb in my mouth when I get stopped by fear, or just, I get an uneasy feeling like, who am I kidding? Who am I fooling? I think everybody in business, and especially women in business, go through this. What stops you? I think most of the time we have to get up and we have to go, okay, what am I not going to do today so that I can focus on what I am going to do today? So, get those things out of the way. It is, and especially because most people in the sunless industry are self-employed. Or if they own studios, like they have like blush tans and organic bronzing and all of these different organic bronze bar, they have franchises, or they have a lot of employees. They have to show up to be there for those people. And doing so, you need your well, replenished. You need your cup refilled on so many times. And I go to these events, and some of the things that I'm speaking at, and some of the things that I kind of lament about, is that I go and I'm so busy working, I don't get to participate in all the gems. And I really did work with the team to be able to get to see a lot of the stuff this time. There's going to be so many great speakers there. I mean, and then Brandon Cardinal, what a story that's going to be. He's adamant he's coming. Wendy Carlson's coming. You're coming. Gemma is going to be there and talk about diversity in spray tanning. There's a whole group of women that are being underserved in the spray tan industry, because we think just because they're women of color, they don't need a tan, but they don't understand the benefit of what a sunless experience can be for their confidence, for their glow, for just how they feel in their own skin, evening out unwanted tones and all of those different things. And that's a huge market that's their needs are not being met. And she's going to talk with you about that. And then not to mention, we're going to have Taryn Luquin, who's amazing at competition. I mean, she goes to all these big bodybuilding shows and pageant shows, as well as Wendy does. And then we've also got Elizabeth Steffen, who's coming from Vanilla Sugar Spa. Now, she's written a book. She's an esthetician. She's a bodybuilder. She does competition tanning. She's had competition tanning. She offers it, and she owns a med spa. So if the med spas are doing it, and then one of the things she's amazing at is, like, she's in a small town. I think many people are going to be able to relate to her on a really different level, because she comes from a town of like 180,000. And she's super profitable. And she really understands how to make that happen for herself in terms of Google and SEO and all those things in a fun way, and in a way that doesn't like tax your time to death. And I'm super excited about your topic on automation, because that's one of my weaknesses is getting it together and getting it automated so that it's going to take place, and all of the other things that I know you're going to share about with that. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about that class, because I really want people to take that class.
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like it's like when we start our businesses, the first thing we want to do is just be like booked and busy, right? Like, we're just so excited that people are willing to pay us for something that we love to do. And then eventually we get busy. We get so busy that we have zero time left for ourselves. We have zero time left to take care of our kids, do anything else, and we start to burn out. Or things start to fall between the cracks, like, oh shit, I forgot to reschedule that appointment, and then I got double booked. Oh shoot, I didn't respond back to that person. Oh, I should have asked her for a review. Oh my God, I forgot to get her picture. Whatever, all of the things start to fall between the cracks, and then the customer experience starts to depreciate. And I know this because I've personally gone through this, and I've spoken to a lot of other spray tan artists, and I know I'm not alone. And so when we start working a lot smarter and not harder, we figure out processes and ways and just simple tools that we can implement, so we're not having to do the same thing over and over and over. We get the same questions. Am I going to turn orange? How many days, like how many spray tans do I have to get the right color? What should I wear to my appointment? Where are you located? When should I get my nails done? Like all of the questions that we get over and over, we don't have to keep repeating ourselves. So we're going to talk about thinking about what our customers' needs are and how we can work more effectively in our business, and how we can put it on plug and play, so that way we can show up and do the things we love and have some time back for ourselves, and our business can basically run and grow by itself, the admin part at least.
Well, and
so that's what I'm excited to share.
Yeah, and I do think that is something that we don't think about when we get in behind the chair. Whether you're doing a facial, a wax, lashes, spray tan, whatever it is, and then you're good at it. And then the next thing you know, your phone is blowing up and your appointments are filling up, and you're 2 weeks out, you're 6 weeks out, you're 10 weeks out. You can't get in to be seen. And then you're like, I don't have time to vet somebody, hire somebody, and bring somebody in, and I'm not really quite there where I need another set of hands. So you're really stuck between that place, and you either push through and grow, or you stabilize and you stagnate, and then you capped. And the last thing you want, I mean, you only have so many hours in the day, and so many people you can spray tan, and then once you capped at that, that's not enough to grow your security. Where do you go? And that's why, automation is great. Was of the generation. I will say I was of the, we started out with a little hand paper book, right? We had a little book, by the way, this is one I contributed to. And we all wrote in our books, like this day, and we would have to erase it if they would call, and they were constantly calling. And I do find that customers have a tendency to not want to do the research. They just want somebody to answer them quickly. And I've had a lot of customers like go to the website. They just want to text you or have you personally spoon feed them their knowledge. And whereas if you can spoon feed through automation for customer satisfaction, that is something I'm really excited to learn about, because I think that's so valuable. And in a self-employed service industry, whether you own a day spa or whether you own a single person mobile studio, if you're busy driving your car, you're not answering texts or calls if you're smart and safe, right? So I am super excited about your class that's coming up. And so it's going to be fun. And I just think that you're right. When you invest in yourself, it isn't always about that next new product. The thing I think that's going to be the great takeaway from this is that not only are you going to get to hang out, have fun, meet other people in the industry and find out what worked for them, what didn't work for them, try new things, business to business stuff, but you will walk away with actionable, really actionable tips and tricks and things that you will learn that you probably didn't learn at other events. I find some of the events out there, just for my own self, they're very motivational. They're very almost spiritual. And there's a lot of wonderful sharing and overcoming of things to get to success. But there's only maybe 3 speakers out of 10 that you can walk away with. I can put that in place and learn from that. And that was the one thing we really focused on when we were reaching out to our keynotes and educators. And when you and I got to talk and you were so generous about coming, that's okay. What's she bringing to the table for them to walk away with? What can they benefit from? And so, my topic is spray tanning is a messy business. And I think this is a really big concern, because the mess that it creates can affect your health, can affect your client's health, and it certainly can affect the ambiance and atmosphere of your studio. And if you're a mobile spray tanner and you're not good at mitigating mess, you can really lose a lot of clients quickly because you can go into somebody's home and you can destroy it really quickly.
Can you give us just a little snippet of what you're going to be sharing? I don't want to give it all away. You have to attend, but can you give a little snippet? And for those of you who don't know what the Spray-Gon system is too, could you just share a little bit about that as well?
Yeah. So in every spray tan industry, in every spray tanner's life, they have to have a way to capture the liquid overspray and the particulate that they powder onto people. So there's two-step process. Well, there's many steps actually, but as you're preparing your client, you might be using a pre-pH spray. Maybe they're like, me, where you got old lady skin. And if you spray tan on really, really dry skin, it gets kind of chattery. It looks like dry earth. So, how much you exfoliate, you end up chattery, kind of, I call it chatter. But you look like a Mojave Desert and the little cracks and lines show up in the tan. And so sometimes using a really good prep spray. So that's a liquid that's getting sprayed onto the client and going in the air. So imagine spray painting your cabinets. What do those guys wear? My goodness, they have goggles, they have respiratory masks, they have the big suits. And so when someone comes into your home to spray a liquid with particulate on your walls, that goes somewhere. Spray painting out of a can goes somewhere. Misting, something on your face, that goes into the atmosphere. So we want to talk about what is liquid particulate and how does it affect respiratory health? And what are we really looking at in terms of long-term, in terms of breathing it in? And then we sometimes set those tans and those solutions with powders. And I'm telling you, a big dust ball and you see it on, I can tell, I can go into a spray tan studio and I know immediately if they've got a good extraction system to capture that overflow. All I have to do is look at the floor and all I have to do is look at the baseboards. And they will be covered with dust. And I'm like, okay, this is getting in their vents. It's getting in their furnace filters. They need to address that. And then I can always tell too, because of the smell, because some DHA solutions over time, as they build up, will oxidize and create that odor that comes with it. And I ran a full service day spa for 14 years, called Bronzed and Beautiful. My lead esthetician bought it for me back in 2022. I still work for her. It's kind of fun to not be the boss, but I still do treatments and I still spray tan. And so I love it because now all the grief is hers. I remember the first time she had to write me a paycheck, she goes, I really liked it when you were the one writing this check. I was like, oh, well, you're welcome. Right. So, but like, there you go. You wanted to own the business. So, but people would walk into our day spa and they would go, you spray tan in here? And I go, yeah, we've got 2 studios running constantly right now. And they're like, we can't even tell because it doesn't smell. And it's because of the type of the extraction system that we use. So Spray-Gon is a backdrop that you can stand in front of. It's got 3 filters and it's got 3 filters behind each filter. And it traps overspray. They're antimicrobial, they're antibacterial, they're antiviral, and they're rinsable and reusable. So they're long-term use. The thing about a spray tan is, though, whether you do 1 tan or you do 10 tans, you want to rinse that filter out every day, because if you're using solution and then you're slapping powder all over it, just imagine putting water in a bowl with some flour. And now you got pancake batter. Leave that overnight. Tell me how that works. So girls go, my spray tan isn't working. It's not absorbing. I go, when's the last time you rinsed your filter? 3 days ago. Okay, get in there and rinse the filter and then let it dry and you'll be okay. So it's a simple process and it's affordable to do, but it does capture a lot of the overflow. And the reason Spray-Gon came about was I had a beauty college, like I said, and the girls were just addicted to tanning each other. They'd come out, all purple or green or whatever base they chose. Like they just pile it on. And it was getting all over our 8,000 square foot facility. And I just told my husband, I said, listen, come in and look at this extraction system. I don't know what I had. It'd been like my 3rd or 4th one. And I said, build me a better mousetrap, please. And so he just started studying. This is George Mack. He just started studying airflow, marine, all these different companies. And he came up with an extraction backdrop. And at that time, it only had 1 little fan. And it still got about 90% of the stuff out. And about 2 weeks went by and he goes, well, what'd you think of it? And I go, oh, the spray's gone. I go, I'm calling it my Spray-Gon. And so that's kind of how it started. And then he has evolved that thing to just be the most beautiful, sleek piece of equipment. And I have to tell you, I still have my first Spray-Gon. It still works. Do you guys know I got that in 2012? 2012. 2010, actually 2010. So 2010, so 14 years later, and that thing still works.
I wasn't even spraying yet then.
Huh?
I wasn't even spraying yet then.
Oh, well, I think I started in 2002, but I didn't implement, 2004. 2004 was when I started. So almost 20 years, which is, I think about the first time that they did it. I think that's when Chris Kramer first brought out the very first Maximus, was right around then, around 2002 or 4. I can't remember which, but I still have my first Maximus. That's how good I've taken care of that thing. So I have my first Fuji. I collect guns like shoes. I love them. I'm just addicted to it.
Amazing. Okay, so I know you guys have something. Sorry, I wanted to ask you about are we allowed to say the mobile? Are we allowed to mention that?
Yeah, you can. We'll talk about it. I'm not sure where we are in the process of it, but we will have a Spray-Gon to go. And it's going to be amazing. I can't tell you the full deets on it yet because George is really fine-tuning the prototype right now, but we'll probably reach out to some very busy mobile tanners and put it through the paces. But we understand that about 80% of the market's still mobile. Not everybody can afford a Spray-Gon. We understand that too. I think it's something to aspire to. And if you're mobile, I take mine with me because I can put it in the back of the pickup, or I used to have a Ford Flex and I just wheel it out and fold it up, wheel it out, put it in my car, get it out of my car. It was super easy to maneuver around, but I would only do that if I had like 8 or 10 people to tan, or I'm doing the pageants. Yeah. I did a lot of cheers clubs and dance clubs and cheerleaders. I've done a lot of beauty pageants, Hooters Internationals. I've worked with, the Twin Peaks girls and done a bunch of just like on-site tanning. Brides, going into, people who travel for brides that come in from out of town. Not that I would say where I live is destination, but Kansas City is 2.5 million people, and a lot of brides will come in and do their parties at the hotel. So if they can't get to the studios, we go to them, that kind of thing. And so it has been somewhat portable, but it's still also, like moving around a very thin, lightweight coffin. And so you have to kind of factor that in. So George is really working on that because he does care about that mobile spray tanner. And we know that what they have isn't as great, but we also want it to be something that's going to be pretty magical for them. So they're not carting in 52 different things when they're going in, because packing up for mobile, right? How many bags do you poor girls have to carry to get into somebody's house to do 2 tans?
I know. I don't personally offer mobile anymore, but
what stopped you?
It's a lot. I can serve way more people if they come to me. Yeah. I can serve more people. I didn't love the lugging. I do have an artist that offers mobile. We don't have it on our books, but if they reach out and ask, we will offer it, but it's not something we really advertise. But people don't mind coming, and I personally prefer having control of my environment, having control of the airflow, having control of the lighting, having control of, I know all of my supplies, and I just got lazy. Come to me instead.
Well, and the other thing too about addressing the messiness, and then we can talk about extraction all day, but the truth of the matter is when you're a busy person, it's hard to clean as you go. It's hard to do things. And so there's little tips and tricks that I have that have made my time flow really fast, where if I've needed to do a spray tan turnaround in 10 minutes and yet have that person feel like they had a luxury spa treatment, I could do it if we were that crazy busy. I have always tried to not overbook myself. And I've seen that a lot of girls think that they have to take every call that comes. And so they do overextend themselves. And really what ends up happening is people end up backing up. And so there's all kinds of messes you can make for yourself. It isn't just about your environment. It's the mess of your books. It's the mess of your life. It's the mess of the facility. And then it's like you're too tired at the end of the day because you drove yourself into the ground for a buck and didn't establish your value quickly. And so really a lot of the talk is going to be about how to determine your own value, because if you don't determine your value, someone else will. And I think COVID taught us that. I think is we as a society have to say, okay, this is where we're going to draw the line. But you as a business owner absolutely have to know how to say, and even as an employee, you have to be able to say, this is the maximum that I can do in order to be the best possible employee for you and to put out the best possible work so that we have the best possible return on your investment, which is me. How do you stand up for yourself? How do you use that voice to stop the avalanche of everything that's in front of you? Because messes, I used to make the joke that I make a mess all the time, but I make a mess beautifully. I make a beautiful mess, and I'm okay with that because
I'm going to tell my husband that.
Do you? Yeah, he's like, you made a beautiful mess of the kitchen. I go, yeah, and it's on your plate, and you're welcome. So it's your turn to do the dishes, right? Yes, it took 42 pots for one. That. Are you?
I think it's the artist in us, you know, like our kind of imagination and our hands move faster than, you know, for me, I don't like to clean as I go. I like to just create whatever it is, whether it's makeup or spray tanning or cooking. I just go. And then after I'm like, oh, what happened here? My station's a mess. My kitchen's a mess, you know, but
Pamela, Tasmanian Priceless. It just comes through like a little tornado.
Oh my gosh. Yes. So, I also wanted to touch on I liked that point, how you said that we have to value ourselves and we have to know our worth. And one thing that I think before I went to a spray tanning conference, I'd never increased my price once. And at that point, I started doing spray tanning my son was 6 months old and he's 14 now. So that was 2009. And I never increased my price. This is so sad. I'm like embarrassed to say this out loud, but I need you guys to hear this. I never increased my price. I only increased it once until 2018 was when I went to my first event. Once, because I thought that that's what the industry was charging and I didn't know my worth. And only after attending the show, I started to understand. One, I invested in myself, so I deserved a raise. But I never thought that I could do that. I never thought that I could do that. And now we're the number one spray tanning salon, even though we're not officially a salon, and we're number one salon, even though we're not officially a salon, and we don't do anything but spray tanning. So it's hilarious. And we're the most expensive in the region.
Well, it's funny you say that because this is really the truth. People value what they pay for. And if you don't have any skin in the game, you don't even value what you pay for. Like if you're just looking for the deal all the time. Now, don't get me wrong. I shop at a lot of, consignment stores and thrift stores for wardrobe because I get really bored with clothes easily and I'm kind of like a junkie. I don't like to wear stuff twice. It's just me. I'm weird. And I lost a whole bunch of weight and got a new look. So now I'm like just showing off all the time for the hubby. And I mean, literally, if I had bought half my wardrobe at anywhere retail, he would be in the poorhouse right now. So, so I will value certain things and certain things that I won't. But the one thing that I don't do is I don't devalue what I do and how hard it took me to get there. So I'm not looking for things on the cheap, and you shouldn't either. But you do have to understand what it is to be in business and the cost of that. And if you're not making the right amount of profit margin, it is mathematics. It is a business. And if you don't treat it like a business and value it like a business, your clients won't either. That's the one thing I really discovered when I had somebody go, oh my God, I can't afford that. And I'm like, well, I don't know if anybody around here does it any cheaper. I just know that that's the going rate. And the reason that I'm a couple of bucks higher is because of these following things. Every time I came home from an education event, I would raise my price on the things I learned. Mm-hmm. And I would bring something to the table and I would just say, and that's the thing, I got to keep evolving for my own clients because nobody tans the same. And if you just get into a rut of using one or two solutions and everybody's got the same tan when they walk in and out, instead of going right out of your mouth, what are we doing this for today? What's this event? Do you got to get off the plane and be beach bada ready? Or are you getting married? And don't tell me your wedding's tomorrow and that you haven't done your spray tan. Oh, it's your first spray tan ever. Yeah, not happening here. I value myself enough not to risk your wedding day. Okay. I'm not going to put your wedding in jeopardy because you didn't take the time to research it. And now you just decided you need a little bit of color because somebody said you were pale. Go work with your makeup artist to put some bronzer on you or something. But if you've never been in contact with the solution and you don't know what you're getting into, I'm not going to be that person to wreck your day because you won't recognize yourself, right? You do not recognize yourself.
We we ask all of our bride clients, and we have it on our intake form that we ask them what the purpose of their spray tan is for. And because we are full service, we do makeup, hair, and spray tanning. So luckily, we have communication with mostly all of our brides almost a year in advance, which is great. So we kind of have an advantage that way. So that way we require our brides. Actually, my package actually includes the spray tan with their makeup.
See,
So we know they're coming for their spray tan 2 days before their makeup trial. So that way the makeup artist knows what their skin tone is going to look like and how the whole completed look is going to be. And then, of course, that they're happy with the spray tan, right? So I highly encourage any spray tan artist to line up with their local makeup artist and make sure that they're having their trials, because you don't want to turn away somebody because it's their wedding tomorrow. I don't want to do that. I want them to have a tan. I want them to be my customer. And
I don't want them to have an allergic reaction or anything. That's why it's really important that they test or try. I've actually met women who've never even used the Jergens Glow Lotion. They've never come in contact with DHA. So you have to decide with your business what you're willing to risk with them and whatnot. I'm old school, so I'm like, I'm not doing that on you. Let somebody else wreck your day, right? But that's just me. If you've never had a spray tan and you're waiting till the day before to get it done, this is not the time to do it, especially if you have a makeup artist coming in, that kind of thing. But when we talk about valuing yourself and you value, the truth of the matter is when you determine your value and you set your worth and you see that you feel more like you determine that you are worth more than what you've been doing for yourself, your clients will respond to that accordingly. And the ones that can't afford it, or who, let's face it, how many of us have clients we just can't get rid of, that we wish we could get rid of because they're never happy, they're Debbie Downers, whatever it is. There's not a lot of them out there, but there's a few of them out there. And those ones, I raise the price like 3 times more than everybody else. I'm like, well, I have pain in the butt fees attached to your price today because I can't please you. And so, you have an outward sign of an inward issue. And no matter what I'm going to do today, I know you're going to be incredibly unhappy. So shall we get started with the tan? And they always laugh at me because they do know. They know. They'll call me and do you see this? Do you see? And they'll point at one little tiny spot that maybe they rubbed up against, or I don't know. And then that's my fault. It's like, yes, I do. It's called, I don't know. It's called, vitiligo. I don't know. I'll make up something. It's called your fault. But you can't say that to them, right? But it will eliminate the ones, it may eliminate some clients, and you can always tweak your price for people. I'm not saying go in and double your prices, but do know what your value is and know what your worth is and what you're doing. And if you're just starting out, we don't want to discourage you, and we don't want you coming out of the gate and charging premium prices if your work isn't there, because that'll be worse. You'll get bad reviews and that'll be worse. And she was not only too expensive, but she didn't know what she was doing. You don't want that. You want to get your technique and your skills down, and you want to be able to be gradually fair and get more education, because the more you spend on your education, that's actionable, that education. Then you can say to your clients, listen, I just went to this amazing training and I learned so many cool things. It's just going to make your tan gorgeous today. I had no idea. I can't even wait to do them on you. I'm so excited. Call all your clients when you get back from the Sunless Beauty Expo and say, you are not going to believe what I learned. You're going to look snatch when you get back. I'm telling you, you are going to look so beautiful when I get done with you because of the stuff I got to learn. I can't even wait to share it with you. Let your clients know, because that raises your value, because it's raised your confidence. Knowing more and learning more raises your confidence. And a lot of the things that they're going to be at the Sunless Beauty Expo are actually, they're going to do some hands-on and some demos, and people are going to get to pick up things and try things. And so it's going to be tactile. It's going to be emotional. It's going to be business. It's going to be all those things that we want a good education platform to be. And knowing your value is difficult. I am amazed that you didn't raise your prices that soon. That just blows my mind.
And it's really because I and not to be down with the, official education that I received. But I didn't have a lot of support. There was barely any spray tan artists in my community. I just didn't know any different. And it wasn't until I discovered this spray tanning community that's mostly in US, because I'm in Toronto, like actually outside of Toronto, and it's in a smaller suburb. And I just didn't have a support system. I didn't have the confidence. I was okay at spray tanning. Like I was all right. Like I knew what I was doing. But it just didn't, all of those things that you talked about, I lacked. I could do the basic technique, but I just didn't have the confidence I was just missing pieces. So as I started attending these events, as I started building relationships, as I started getting better at spray tanning, as I opened my salon, I started realizing, and all of these pieces just started to come together. And that's when I finally decided to start. And then now each year, I attend something, whether I'm speaking or I'm attending or both, because I'm learning. Even if I'm presenting or I'm teaching, I'm still learning and taking so much away every single time. Even though I know even you, I'm sure you've been in the industry for 20 plus years doing spray tanning, you're going to go and you're going to learn something. So we're never too old. We're never too educated. We've never done too many sprays to go and learn something new. In fact, if you've been in the industry for a long time, even more reason to go, because sometimes we just get stuck in a rut at doing the same thing over and over. And we are kind of closed-minded, right? So it's going to help you to step outside of that box. And if you're new, then don't wait 10 years like I did. Start now, because you guys have this amazing opportunity to step into something greater, and just come with an open mind, because you just never know how it's going to impact you. But I guarantee if you come just with an open mind, and it's going to be nerve-wracking probably for people. If you go alone, it's okay. Just come, you're welcome. Everybody's welcome. Everyone's going to feel comfortable, and you're going to meet amazing people. You're going to have tangible items that you can take away and start learning. You are going to be inspired. You are going to be more business minded, and maybe you're going to win the big prizes too, which would be even greater.
Right. And here's something to consider too. Let's say you're just a newbie in this. Immediately sign up for the games. Because one of the best ways to improve your technique is to get in that games and watch how everybody and if you're good, if you've been at it a long time and you want some recognition, we're really giving out real awards for this, real awards that are going to be able for you to beautifully display and share with your clientele to be recognized at your skills. But whether your skills are mad skills or just bad skills, enter that competition, because what you want to do is you want to get there and you want to watch what the other girls are doing. Some girls spray horizontally. Some girls spray vertically. Some girls use a gravity gun. Some girls use the draw gun. Some girls, they like HVLP or they like other. We're going to make sure that those tools are represented there, and you can come and watch what your colleagues are doing, and you will learn something. You will learn something amazing on their techniques, because everybody gets 15 minutes to do their tan, and we're going to have everybody prepped to walk up there. So you're going to have 15 minutes to do your tan right. And then they're going to be judged and critiqued on about 10 different key points on the spray and about 8 different key points on the finish rinse. No, I'm not telling you what they are, because then I'm going to give you too much of an upper hand. But we want you to come. We want you to spray in front of others and share your technique. Listen, if you all come and do it, I will do a spray tan in a Tyrannosaurus Rex costume with my little hands. I'll do a Tanosaurus spray tan, and I will guarantee you that tan is going to be epic. And if you know how to spray tan yourself, we have a category called the self tan, and it's really self-explanatory in the thing. Show us how you spray yourself. Show us how you self tan. I don't care if you do it.
How do you do the back?
How do you do this? I gotta see. I'm not doing this for anybody but me. Whether you're using a mousse and a mitt, I want to see what your calisthenic skills are and how you spray yourself, so that we can all learn how to do it ourselves. Because a lot of women have had to leave it up to their husbands, and they have really regretted it. They're like, why did I? Just because he can spray tan or use a spray gun on a door or something dumb, I thought he could spray me, right?
That's literally my story.
It is. But I am not going to lie, you guys. Now, George Mack, that man was co-owner in Bronze and Beautiful, and he was one of our premier spray tanners. And I hated it when my girls would go to him, because they would all call, "Is George available?" I'm like, oh. No, I am. I taught him. I want, he'd be taking all our clients and all our yummy, delicious tips. And I was like, dude, back off. Like, quit horning out. And it's not like, he just really pays attention to those little details and those nuances and can contour. He can do all of it. I mean, so he really understands your plight as a spray tan artist. That's nice to have a company that manufactures something because they were behind the gun once and they know what that's about. But it is the competition. Don't be afraid to jump in and do it. When you get your ticket to come, immediately sign up for the games because you will get so much wonderful feedback. Hey, I saw you doing this. Maybe try this next time. We're all going to share with you. We're all going to root you on. We're all going to cheer for you. It's just going to be amazing. And if you needed to feel better about who you are, this is a place to come because we're going to we just want to celebrate everybody in our industry. It's just going to be exciting.
And who doesn't want to put spray tan, award-winning spray tan artist in their bio on Instagram?
Exactly. Who doesn't want to be a gold medal winner or, even if you came in, we're not doing first, second, third, we're doing gold, silver, and bronze, just like the Olympics. And then we've got, some, best in shows getting this most expensive thing I've ever seen in my life. It's just like a big giant piece of jewelry and I want to wear it and I want to show it to everybody. It's going to be amazing. And we are going to have a first runner up and we're going to crown girls and we're not going to make it, super cheesy, but you will be recognized and awarded on the merits and the points of your work. And I think that's important because it's not a pay to play. There's a lot of competitions in the beauty industry where the only way you win is if you pay, like they charge you to enter the categories. We initially started that. We were like, that's stupid. We really shouldn't have to make them pay to enter, and it's difficult to ask a model to fly out there. So we changed that format too. And I've been in a lot of competitions in the beauty industry where I've done 8 weeks case studies and I sent in the information. And then when I got there, I only entered 2 categories. And, rumors were abound that, if you had it, and I did notice that the ones who were winning had entered every category. Well, that's just pay to play. And I mean, that's a little bit like the Hunger Games, right? I mean, that's a game, but I don't think you should have to pay to play. I think you should get to come and be recognized on the merit of your work and who you are. And it's really because I feel like we're treated, no pun intended, like the redheaded stepchild of the beauty industry, that they don't take us seriously. They just think, oh, you're just doing lipstick, right? They just don't take us seriously in the licensed industry. Yet it's the 4th biggest segment of the beauty industry, 3rd most requested. And it's the number 2 most requested retail product in beauty right now over the counter. You walk into a drugstore and what do you see in the drugstores now? At the corner of every kiosk. Sunless Beauty products.
Yeah.
We've got our liquid tanning drops. We've got our tanning waters. We've got our mousses. We've got our lotions, our Instaglow, glow, 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 glow. Bronze, 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 bronze. It's everywhere. And why? Because we know that we need sun in moderation, but we need to make sure we don't get sun damaged. But we still want to look beautiful and tan like Coco Chanel,
still want to glow.
Yeah, we don't want to look like peasants. We want to look like Coco Chanel laying out on the beach, right? She started the whole tanning craze. God love her. Thank her for that. Does everybody know who Coco Chanel is?
Google her.
Google Chanel. Chanel number 5. Yeah, I know. Sometimes I feel like we've evolved and now there's all these new makeup people and everything. I don't even know. I have to go to Sephora and get educated about once a month. I
actually brought a younger artist on my team who currently still works at Sephora part-time, and she's like our trend and product specialist to keep me in the loop so I know what's going on. And she's awesome. She brings a fresh energy to our team and she's just fabulous. So yep, you got to stay relevant, guys. And this is, part of coming to the event is figuring out what's happening, what's new, what works, what doesn't work. And this is what it's all about. So I'm so excited. I have to book my tickets. I'm going to do that this week. So for my flights and everything. So I'm super excited to come. I'm so happy to be a part of this. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing all of your insight and for putting all of this, energy and passion and work into this event for those, us in the spray tan industry. We're getting ourselves on this map. It's a growing industry, and this is what's going to help us propel to, get recognized and get people more confident in taking advantage of our services. So we want to be the best. We want to elevate the industry. We want to charge more. We want to be more fulfilled and work smarter in our businesses. And so I'm stoked to be a part of it. Thank you so much. Anything else you want to share before we wrap up?
I want it, because you were so sweet and so kind to ask me to do this, and I'm so excited about being on this podcast. And that you're going to be there, that if you guys, anybody who's out there who is as big a Pam Price fan as I am, a Pamela Price fan that I am, use the code Priceless and you will get a gift of $100 off your ticket.
Thank you so much.
And that's going to go on right up to the day of the event. We're not canceling that code. That is a code that you can use, share with your friends, and that brings that price down even lower, makes it a little more affordable for the 2.5 day event. And then also, if you didn't know, there's a lot of airlines on sale right now. Big flights are on sale right now. I think I got my ticket round trip, and I know I'm in the States, but normally I pay like $3.99 to for something for, and I got mine for $2.80. Before through Southwest,
what Southwest? Okay.
And I know you're coming out of Toronto, so I'm not really sure there, but I actually had somebody tell me, she's coming from Canada. She's like, I took a puddle jumper across and then I caught a really cheap flight in the US. I was like,
yeah, we drive to Buffalo because it's like almost half the price, and it's for us it's only like a 2-hour drive. So we usually drive to Buffalo. So if you're coming from Toronto, the Toronto airport's awful. Just drive to Buffalo. It's so much
just drive
easier.
to Buffalo. Yeah, exactly.
Or depending where you are, but yeah.
But that'll save you some money, and get online and get that hotel reserved right away before the summer events. The hotel did inform me that July is actually the busiest month in the year for Las Vegas.
Oh,
and
wow.
I'm just like, are you kidding me? Because we had originally hoped to do the event. We were originally hoping to do the event, and then some circumstances came up that we couldn't do it in February. And one of the things that came up in the February event was the Super Bowl was the week before, but it was bleeding over into ours, and it was causing the hotel rates to go up ridiculous because there wasn't enough hotel rooms. And so that was crazy weird. But they've given us a really good block. So go to sunlessbeautyexpo.com, and on the very first page, you can book your hotel now, and they don't take any money from you right away. So you're not paying for your room up front. So you're just reserving that room, getting in that room block, getting that really great rate. So don't hesitate to do that. And it's at the Plaza Hotel and Casino. It's in downtown Las Vegas. It's head of Fremont Street. And that is a gorgeous hotel. They have remodeled it. I mean, it is just beautiful. We love it. We go to the Tiki Bar. We just have a great time. They've got wonderful restaurants there. They've got a beautiful pool, beautiful steakhouse. It's really something. They got a bingo palace, and they got a wedding chapel if anybody feels like renewing their vows. So that might be fun. I don't think George.
It's going to be a wild weekend.
It's going to be wild. Yeah, we have a whole category called the white dress category. It doesn't have to be a bridal. It's not going to be necessary for bridal, but what does that tan look like in a white dress? I think that's really telling. So it's going to be fun. So yeah, thank you so much again. So the code is Priceless, and then I can't wait to listen to this and share this with everybody.
Amazing. Thank you so, so much. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you everybody for listening. And if you guys have any additional questions, feel free to reach out. And I'll put all of the links in the show notes as well. But do you want to just share like the best way for them to reach out to you if anybody has any additional questions?
Yeah, go to the sunlessbeautyexpo.com, put your name in the mail, or you can email me at hello@sunlessbeautyexpo.com. And that's going to come straight to me there. And then I'm also on Facebook under Melinda SD McHenry, or you can go to the Sunless Beauty Expo Instagram, instant message me there. You can go, I've got access to that. And then also the Facebook page and the event page. And then
so you're everywhere.
I'm trying to be everywhere. This is social media I'm such a people person, and I'm an old broad. So it's difficult for me to get wrapped around it. I do it good sometimes, and then I don't do it so good sometimes, but I'm really trying, because it's a whole new world to navigate when you're used to just getting to make, your goal is to make people feel better about themselves, and you don't reach, I don't typically reach for a phone to do that, So it's a new way of being for me to have to incorporate digital with my, application skills. I'm like, not that bright.
That's okay. That's part of the evolving process of being, business owner. So
Well, if I get to
and
that
you can always
point,
just hire somebody to do that. I know you have people that take care of that stuff for you anyway.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I do. So hopefully they're doing it. I gotta go check in, see where they are. It's
That's the
wrangling
goal.
cats, kittens. It's wrangling cats. So have a wonderful day and enjoy yourself.
So much.
And
Thank
then
you so
we will
much.
see. I'll see you guys soon in July. I'm excited. It's coming up quick.
Looking forward to it. Yeah. Get your tickets, guys.
Thanks
so much, Melinda.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Hey girl, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. If you enjoyed this episode, please share a positive 5-star review. And as a thank you for your love and energy, my team will send you a free copy of my social media content and goal planner. Please screenshot it and email it to info@priceless-beauty.com so we can get that to you right away. Until next time, let's stay connected on IG. Come say hello at Priceless Beautygram. And don't forget, you are worthy and capable of achieving anything your heart desires.